Yo, what's going on, Chicago? It's your boy, Rome J, signing in, cultural correspondent for the tribe and the host of We Real Chicago. Look, y'all, welcome to episode 15. It's our final episode of the year. I truly want to thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us over the last few months. We do appreciate all the views, all the support, all the love. If you subscribe, thank you guys. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. So 2020, I've basically lost all concept, of time this year. Like what really happened? So much of the year has been lost. We've lost family and friends and some of our most treasured Black icons as well. We were forced into our homes during the spring as the Rona touched down in the US earlier this year. Things are still rocky at this point, but maybe this vaccine could be the start to get us back on track. Our people hit the streets and protested, demanding that our nation defund the police. One can say we're used to pushing forward in spite of what's going on around us. And, you know, I guess I'm a glass half full type of guy. I tend to see the bright spots in what's been one ghetto ass year. I mean, for instance, Chicago hosted what could be known as our last hurrah for social gathering when the NBA brought All-Star Weekend to the Windy City in February. And although COVID kept us from enjoying live concerts, Chicago held one of the nation's few drive-in concerts. Shout out to Mike Ori of Afro Track. Chicago artists like G Herbo, Polo G, and Lil Durk were still able to thrive this year. Juice WRLD, one of our native sons, has been recognized globally for his contributions to the music industry. I've seen more Black content by Black creators in 2020 more than any other year. Streaming sites have realigned their focus to cater to our Black needs as well. And to top it all off, I mean, Swizz Beatz and Timbaland, they joined forces to bring us 21 live versus battles in the year of 2020. I mean, Patty versus Gladys, Snoop and DMX. We all remember how funny and hilarious Snoop always is. Gucci versus Jeezy, Monica and Brandy. I mean, how could we ever forget these notable events in Black history? Not only that, but in a historic election, the American people have decided to end the year with selecting a brand new game show host. President. Sorry, y'all. And the first Black woman was elected to be vice president. I just finally feel like there's an adult in the room in the White House now, and I personally can't wait for a Biden and Kamala White House. Oh, and how could we forget y'all man's Kanye running for president? I mean, and so it's been a crazy year. Shout out to 2020 so long. And guys, this is our final episode of the year. Thank you to everyone who's been rocking with us since day one. I thought it would be special to bring on some very special people to recap 2020 with me. So for our final show, let's go ahead and welcome Chicago native Diamond Bell, also known as Diamond Dosage. Diamond is an entrepreneur, host, writer, and podcaster. Her visual podcast, Diamond's Dosage, airs exclusively on What's the Word TV. Next is Bekoe. Bekoe is a curator, tastemaker, and respected connoisseur of the Chicago music scene. He's best known for building iLLANOiZE Media LLC and iLLANOiZE Radio as a go-to digital destination for hip-hop and R&B. Bekoe is also a midday host of Vocalo Radio 91.1 FM. And last but not least, let's welcome Vashon Jordan Jr. Now, Vashon is a 21-year-old visual artist born and raised in Chicago. He's a college senior this year. He uses photography and videography to showcase authentic stories and moments that reflect the people of Chicago. The gang's all here. I want to welcome them on to the show. What's going on, guys? Thank you guys for joining me.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
What's up?
Gang, what's going on, you guys? Thank you guys for joining me. To Diamond, happy belated birthday. I saw you
doing happy birthday, Diamond. See you looking good.
Thank you.
Snaps for Diamond. I heard you tell my producer you were representing for the baddies. And I seen you. I seen you online yesterday with your little pink joint. I said, oh, Lord.
You know, I had to do it to him.
Yeah, I see you. We see you. So, you guys, welcome to We Real Chicago. It's an honor to have all you guys here. I follow all of your work. And before we get deep, let's talk about you all first. I want to just go around the table, the virtual table, of course. I want you guys to introduce yourselves. Tell the people who you are in what you do. And like we always do it, ladies first, Ms. Dosage, the floor is yours, please.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Diamonds Dosage. I just want to thank the tribe so much for having me. What's up, Bekoe and to Vashon? Hello. I am a influencer in Chicago. I'm a writer. I'm a personality. I'm a podcaster, and I do this. Okay, I represent for all the women out there. I'm definitely heavily focused on women empowerment and just moving society forward, just being progressive. And y'all should just check me out.
Our next guest from iLLANOiZE Radio, one of the founders of iLLANOiZE Radio. You can also catch him on Vocalo Radio 91.1. My guy Stephen Bekoe. Stephen, what's going on, man? Tell the people about yourself.
How you doing, Rome? Hey, appreciate the tribe for having me. What it is, Diamond, what it is, Vashon. I mean, yeah, you gave me a very dope intro, my brother. I mean, what more can I say? Yeah, creator, founder, iLLANOiZE Media. Definitely just been trying to do what I can to really shift the culture within the music industry and, make broadcasting fun again and just do some interesting things here in the city where we can spotlight, talent, and do what we need to do to, keep our city where it needs to be and let people know it's talent here in Chicago. So.
All right. And our next guest, Vashon. Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
Hello to you all. Super excited to be on this panel and talking about 2020. Definitely not a year that I have many nice things to say about because it's definitely came through and just wrecked us. But I'm a photo and videographer here in the city of Chicago, and I'm an independent photographer. And the main line of work that I do is just trying to go around the city and showcase authentic stories on authentic people, photographing, things that are of interest to the city and just doing them from a viewpoint as an independent where I'm able to tell that story from a perspective where I don't have someone looking over my shoulder or an editor or worrying about too much media bias, but just using my talents of photography and videography to just give back to the city and make sure that people can see what we have going on in Chicago, which is Bekoe said, which is a lot of talent here. And we're all showing that in different ways, our own platforms. We're able to come together because there's so much in Chicago and there's so much work for us to do. But it's like if everyone's using their own specific talents in their own fields to work on that collectively, we can continue to rise. So for me, that's, taking photos and documenting those moments. And for so many other people, they're all doing great work here in the city of Chicago.
Wonderful. I want to thank all of my guests. My name is Jerome Johnson. I happen to go by Rome J, and I am your host for this evening. Welcome to We Real Chicago, our show, our weekly show, every Thursday, 6 p.m. This is our last show of the year. I want to thank all my guests and you guys for tuning in. So I just feel like we went from January, February, March, then boom, COVID. And now here we are in December. What has this year been like for you all? And I want to take it back to December 31st, 2019. What were you most looking forward to about this year? I mean, despite all the loss this year, there's been some success for some of us here, right? I mean, let's pause and talk about that for a moment. Bekoe, you got a new gig at Vocalo. Congrats.
Thank you.
Do you mind telling us about that and how's that been? How crazy has that been getting acclimated during a year like 2020?
Well, it was, it's still a blessing. I joined Vocalo in December and went live with Vocalo in January. So I was definitely expecting a big year. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on a platform where they do some major things. I was excited for Lollapalooza. I'm like, I finally get to check out some festivals and get to cover some festivals. And yeah, that all went away quick. Once March hit, everything changed. But overall, it's definitely been a blessing in disguise because it's been a bittersweet year. Some good things happen, and of course, bad things happen. I'm happy that good things on my end has happened, though I do understand a lot of people are suffering right now. A lot of things, a lot of deaths has occurred. A lot of people have lost their job. Money not the same, money looking funny. So, but in my aspect, I've been blessed, and I'm just trying to do what I can to at least spotlight those that can use a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I was looking forward to festival season, man. If you guys have been following the tribe or following Rome J, Lollapalooza 2018 was when I really started to get my feet wet. And I made a lot of good connections, and I got used to doing this media thing. And that's kind of when I figured out this is my lane. So I'm missing festival season, man. I was able to go to the Afrotrek concert with Lloyd over at Soldier Field, and that's the only concert I've been to this year. How about anyone else? Diamond, has there been any good success, any good news from this year? Please let us know.
Well, I just hate that I look at the world and I just like get so like empathetic towards it because there's so much going on and a lot of people are definitely suffering from the pandemic. And we have to realize that even though we are probably more blessed than others, a lot of people are suffering from the pandemic as far as, just food shortage, lack of funds. So that's just heavy on my heart. But for me, my personal life, my personal success has definitely been a good year for me and my brand. I think I'm climbing new heights, making new networks, and I'm just really, trying to elevate the brand. 2020 has just been really revealing because I feel like everybody spent more time with themselves this year, and I hope people took some time to self-reflect. So it's just been like a year where you should have done that. You should have taken the time that, we spent in a home to self-reflect.
I agree.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, Vashon, you're in school, correct? I mean, you're a senior this year. How's that been? How's the school year going for you? And what achievements have you gone towards this year, man?
So I really expected this to be a smooth year for me coming into 2020, being the last year that I have 2 full semesters of school. I'm studying at Columbia College Chicago. I'm a television major. So when COVID shut us down, it was, a really hard impact because for my line of work, I have to be in the control room. I have to be in the studio. I have to be working with the crew. So having to do all of that remotely has definitely been a switch that I wasn't expecting, but we're trying to adapt to that, and just like you all, I love the festival season here in Chicago. Even with photography, I was just very disheartened that the parade season is gone. Every year I volunteer for the Thanksgiving parade, the Halloween parade, the Magmount Lights Festival, all of that was gone. And like shortly before we shut down for COVID, I was photographing the polar plunge. Hundreds of people packed on the beach running to the water. And now it's like you look a few weeks later and it's completely shut down. But one of the, greatest lessons about this year was it really just had everyone just take a seat, kind of boil it down and just realize how much we have to be grateful for. I'm grateful to be healthy. I'm grateful to be alive. And it's like just having that alone is one of the things that we have to realize how many blessings we have every day, because the U.S. has been handling COVID terribly. I don't even know if it could have done any worse, just completely terrible. But we're still in better situations than other people around the country just in daily lives. We look at things like the NSARS that's been coming out and all of the other protests that have been happening. So it really just makes us take a step back and look within. But I'm really hoping that 2021 is going to be something. I know it's not going to be a switch on New Year's Day, but, we're just trying to be optimistic and hope that something better can happen.
And you know what? I just have to say, we are blessed to have survived 2020, and we ain't made it yet. Yeah. But blessed to have made it this far.
We got some time.
Blessed to have made it this far. People are getting sick and dying. People are getting shot and dying. Yeah. So we're blessed to still be here looking into a new year. People were marching in these streets this summer. You could say COVID-19 plus mass unemployment and the murder of Black people at the hands of police made this summer ripe for an uprising. There were at least 100 protests in Chicago alone over the last few months. We also saw sometimes daily protests and actions this summer in other cities in the country. Our general assignment reporter, Matt Harvey, has been at most, if not all, of the movements and actions this summer. And Vashon, so were you. When things started popping off in the streets, I'd hop online and you were there. I mean, it was crazy. Vashon, how were you always there? Just as far as transportation wise, how are you always? Sometimes things would happen in more than one place in the city, and it would be like you found your way to both events. How were you doing this?
It was definitely a doozy, but one of the things that I have to say is a lot of the work that happened in Chicago and even with my photography was a collaborative effort. And there are so many people, so many other freelancers that I have to give props and praise to. So I'm running around on CTA. Uber loves me. I think I have like one of those platinum Uber accounts at this point. I'm always on there. I'm working on that gold. And
you got the black Uber package. You get picked up on the black Uber.
They pick them up in the
cancellation and no fee, all of that. And it's like, working with other people to get around. But you know, there was so much happening. And one of the things about me personally, as I think about everything in a futuristic aspect of like, this protest is happening, whether I feel like going or not, I'm looking at it as this is a once in a lifetime moment. Like there will be more protests, but this day, this action, these people would never happen again. So just trying to get out there and running around and, you know, and just making it happen. But there was so much, and I'm glad that I was able to, you know, use my social media and photography to kind of bring that to light and show people what's going on, what's happening, because there were so many protests about so many different topics, and just photos like this one. I just love the message on that board. And this was over in Little Village for like the Hit the Hood protest. And I remember every photo I shot, which is over 17,000 this summer, there's a story behind each and every one of them. And I remember them so vividly.
Yeah, I mean, we did a story where we covered sex workers were protesting, and everything happened this summer. If you had a right, you protested that right this summer. And I'm gonna get to my other guests, Bekoe and Diamond, but Vashon, I have to stay on you for a second. You've been to damn near all the protests. What was your most memorable protest that you attended this summer?
So, well, that shot right there, I love that one so much. That was on May 30th down at the bridge heading over towards Trump Tower. But the most memorable one for me has to be Juneteenth. Like that is just something that sticks with me. You have hundreds of people packed in Daily Plaza, swag surfing, throwing our fists up in the air, coming together and just celebrating ourselves and our existence. There it is right there. And I love the sign is cut off, but it says, "I'm here so my kids won't have to be." And that shirt says ancestors' wildest dreams. So you think about that, and you think about just this idea of joy and Black people coming together to live our lives. Because if you look at Black history in this country, it's built on, you know, Black suffering. It's built on Black trauma, and everything you see with our ancestors is suffering. And that's disheartening for us to see, because we're still experiencing many of these today, just in different forms. So it's like, just to see us coming together and being able to just let our hair down for a second, smile and have a good time was one of those moments that really stick with me. You know, just a couple others. I was out there for the Dreadhead Cowboy when he rode his horse on the Dan Ryan. That was one that made international news.
Facts.
And that was definitely a day. I never expected to be doing something like that. But, you know, he held 2 marches, one in Inglewood and one in Woodlawn. And I was actually standing on the expressway for that shot there. But he held 2 marches before, and it got no coverage from media outlets on the first one. We had one outlet at the second one. So then he went and did this third one, which is really what got everybody's attention. But it's like he was protesting, you know, over the deaths of children in Chicago. That was one of the things we saw, huge upticks in violence, and we saw many children being shot and killed this year. So that was one of the protests that's definitely, I'm pretty sure we will not see anything like this again, but that was another memorable moment.
Yeah, facts. No, Juneteenth did really feel like an actual holiday this year. That's something that changed in 2020. I mean, it felt like the 4th of July, Juneteenth. Black people really showed out, and it made me happy. Like Bekoe and Diamond, I know how media works, and you guys are busy people. Even during COVID, you said, have any of these protests or uprisings, had this impacted your work?
Absolutely. For me, I participated in one of the protests. I think it was the initial one with George Floyd in May sometime. And it was really the looting. Like, you know how they blocked off downtown and like Lori Lightfoot like shut off certain things. So like we couldn't really go anywhere after a certain period of time. So it definitely impacted my schedule. But I just want to say something, being actually down there at downtown in the midst of it, because that was actually my first protest I participated in. It was just really surreal. Like, it was real. The police cars was on fire. People were upset. The civil unrest was really just there. And I just think that is just telling. We are really dissatisfied with what we've been given as citizens, especially as Black citizens.
Yeah, I mean, it impacted me in a way of reporting, the way I would do, you know, my show. I had a chance of interviewing Heavy Crowns about Trap House Chicago over on the South Side. You know, their store was, I think it was broken into during a looting stage. I also got to chop it up with Kena Collins, you know, as she broke down things about defunding the police and where funding should go, and, you know, the process of looting and the effects of things. And I also got to interview Matt Harvey. and talk to Matt about, you know, his experience down there protesting, and what it was for him, and just, you know, him seeing it personally and taking photos on things. And I saw a lot of Vashon photos, like the brother photos went viral. I didn't even know you took the photo of the dreadhead cowboy on the expressway like that. That's memorable. So that's how it impacted me. The way on my show, I had to literally switch up all my content, and everything was just focused on the protest, George Floyd, the looting. And you know, it takes work to do that, where you have to literally get uncomfortable, where when you're focused on doing something, now everything changes and shifts, where you have to focus on, okay, this is what people need to know about. Let me get the news out the right way and make sure I get it out with no, you know, no falseness to it. So that's how things impacted me.
No doubt. And shout out to Matt Harvey, our award-winning journalist. So, and I mean, Bekoe, Diamond, you guys talk to a lot of artists, and you guys are in tune with the music scene. Is there like a song? Do you think there's a song or a specific artist that really demonstrates what we're experiencing with respect to police brutality here in Chicago that comes to mind?
I mean, I don't know in particular, but Lil Baby, you know, he has his song, his Black Lives Matter song, which is a hit. So, and I think he did a great job telling what's really going on, and his insight on the situation was really revealing to the topic. And it touches, you know, the younger generation. He got a moment to touch them, you know. Everyone can't relate to Lil Baby, but I really respect him for releasing that song at that time.
I agree. Your bigger picture was a mad success, and the money he's making from that, he's donating, you know, to the community.
That's amazing.
So that a song that I feel like I'm gonna go with a underground artist that's making his way up. It goes by the name of Fly Skins. Fly Skins put out a song called Pirate America. We play it on iLLANOiZE radio. Dope single where it's breaking down the looting, is breaking down police shootings. He really dove into that record, and he did something that I normally don't hear from him. Like I said, the protest literally changed everything and changed everybody, and it brought creativity out of a lot of artists within the city and just around the world to like really focus on the issue at hand. And so I would have to say Pirate America.
Facts. And me myself, I know Rick Wilson puts out a lot of content about uprisings and things of that nature. So make sure you guys check out all of those artists. And shout out Lil Baby. I think he just paid. I saw something he paid for George Floyd's daughter's birthday as well. Yeah. Vashon, you've got about 17,000 photos, and you sent me a lot of them. And you published a book with images from the summer. Walk us through the process for making the book. When did you say, okay, you know what, let's just make it a book?
I've been covering protests in Chicago for years now, so this wasn't like my first rodeo with this. So I just figured it would be the routine. You know, I'd go out, maybe a one and done kind of deal, take some photos, but then it's like we had all of the people come out on May 30th, and then the next week we had 38,000 people from Union Park to Seward Park, and I was like, okay, this is building up some momentum. So I kept going with it, kept sticking to it, and some people were telling me like, you know, maybe you should make a book. But I really was like, you know, that's a lot of work and that's a real daunting task. So I didn't necessarily want to do it at first. But when I started to look at, you know, what the perception of the protest was, what the media coverage of the protest was, I knew that I had to find a way to cement this down, because it's like the Black experience, what we go through, we're special and magical people, and we deserve more than for our stories to roll over and whatever the news cycle is. It's not enough for us to have this action where we come together and raise our voices. You hear about it for a couple hours and then it goes away. So I'm thinking about, let's say 1 year from now or 10 years from now, we're talking about 2020. I know I don't expect anyone else to roll through my social media to try to get a recap of what happened here. So I knew if I put that down in a book, it'll put it in a tangible form that could reach further than the internet, further than wherever my social media could potentially reach, and show people what goes on and what's happening. We know that years from now, younger generations are going to learn about this in their history books. So why is it that somebody else gets to make our history book? I was there. I think I'm competent to make that history book. So I did it. And I put this book together myself, and there are teachers teaching this book in their class. Folks have reached out to me that they're showing this kind of stuff. So I'm making sure that we know that in the future, our kids will see that we were able to come together and have a good time, but still stand up and fight. We didn't just sit back and let everybody run over us. We stood up, we fought back, And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to put this book together. So you can, I don't care if the internet can go away today, my accounts can get suspended today, but you take care of that book and you have our history in your hands, and you can own that, and you can always show what the true Black experience was in Chicago.
And thank you, Vashon, for just speaking so clear. Young brother out of Columbia, he's a senior this year. Moving along, so Mayor Lori Lightfoot was also put on notice this year. She was getting a lot of love from folks outside of Chicago. Some even went as far as calling her auntie. Let's just say her response to the demands from folks on the ground has been disappointing. She still backs the police. There's no surprise there. And folks marched to Lori's neighborhood to let her know what's up. I think we have the clip. Let's go ahead and roll it. On your birthday, Lori. On your birthday.
Hey.
Destiny Harris filmed this video. She's on the cover of my book in the yellow pants. She's been out protesting for years. There's Caleb Ottman there.
Birthday, what's your birthday? I've never seen that.
Yeah, there we have a group of Black people singing F Your Birthday outside of the mayor's home. I mean, what are y'all thoughts on how the mayor has responded to the demands of folks on the street? Bekoe.
I'm still tripping on the F Your Birthday, okay? And it was deep too. Imagine coming at, imagine looking out your window with people chanting "F your birthday" on your
I would want to fight.
I would want to fight. But I didn't even look. That's new to me. I do remember when I first heard about the Lori situation, because at the end of the day, Lori, she's in a unique situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's a Black mayor. She's a woman mayor at that. Yep. She's in a very unique situation. She comes in during this year, during a very unique time where we're, a lot of things has happened. So it's like she had to really put herself in position to make things happen fast. And when things happened that happened this year, from the pandemic to all the hospitalizations, she got to think about the hospitals. She got to think about the protests. She got to think about the looting. It's a lot that was taking place for Lori. So I feel like she was just in a very difficult spot this year. And it kind of gave her a different type of aspect, how people look at her. Because if this was not the type of year we had, I think the outlook on her would have been a lot different. Yeah. But with what took place, it put her in a very, very hard spot. And of course, she's not going to meet the demands for everybody. She got to focus on priorities. So some of those priorities, of course, is not going to meet the demand of what we want as people. So I feel like that's what, that's just my thoughts on that situation. But they had to say F her birthday, though,
They absolutely didn't have to say that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
My thoughts.
Please.
My thoughts. I mean, I respect her. I respect her position. I respect whatever. You know what I mean? But I do feel like she could be doing more. I feel like the people have expressed exactly what they want, and she needs to meet those demands. There has been a lot of neglect on Lori's behalf to the Black community. The segregation. We all know the Black people reside on the South Side, the white people reside on the North Side. With her shutting down the bridges, it just made it really clear about who she cares about. I just think that she is not as progressive as she pretends to be, and I think that she can do more for the city of Chicago. And that's just my thoughts.
She definitely is in that unique position of coming into this office and all of this happening, which is unprecedented for anyone to do. But, with Chicago being such a diverse city, one of the most diverse cities in the world, there are many different people with different viewpoints. And it's like, as much as we want, what we believe to be the overarching opinion, there are some people who don't think that Black Lives Matter. There are some people that are like, yeah, raise those bridges and cut CTA so they don't come up to my neighborhood and do this. So you have to look at who the city is prioritizing and make sure that we're finding ways to bring this around so that everyone's voices are heard. And looking at, the mayor is the person in the highest position in the city, but our aldermen and women are not off the hook. They're the ones that are representing our, our communities and our wards. And we vote them in to talk to the mayor and vouch for the people of the city. So we're looking at them. We're looking at our senators and our Congress people. So it's so easy for other elected officials to point the finger. But it's like, what is my alderman saying? We just had a budget that's passed. Did your alderman vote yes on that budget? And if you don't want your alderman to vote, that's your representative. So you have to look at them as well, because at the end of the day, they have terms and they're going to be here for that time. So we have to find ways to work with them. But we have to make sure that we're looking at everybody who also has a piece of this too. But I'm not saying we shouldn't be holding some folks accountable more than others. We should, but we have to make sure that we're also looking at who is directly responsible for making that change that affects our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, I just hope that the train doesn't stop. We have an obligation to ourselves to hold our government accountable.
Yeah.
And so I just hope that, and 2020 was probably, in my life, I'm 28 years old, 2020 was the most active I've ever seen the streets. And I just hope it doesn't stop. I went to my first protest this year. It was the one downtown right after George Floyd got killed. They raised up the bridges. And so, you know, I don't hope anybody else gets killed, but we have to hold our government accountable, whatever that means. So moving on. And in 2020, we saw activists host marches for victims of gun violence, food and supply drives, and much more for people in need. We are all we got. The tribe, we love to see it over here. We're going to flip over and I want to shift and pull one out. And just have a moment of silence, all right, me and my panel here, for a few of the fallen soldiers, a few of the lost ones, the people that we lost this year, and we'll go ahead and roll it. And I just want to say, you know, every life is of substance. Every life matters. When we look at that list and the people we just saw, obviously the Chicago natives hit us all hard. But out of that list specifically, and Bekoe, I see you shaking your head. Which one hit you the hardest, Bekoe?
Man, I mean, of course, the Chicago, you know, of course, Duck, of course, Vaughn, but outside of Duck and Vaughn, can I speak on that a little bit?
Of course.
You know, it was, you know, when I saw things hit the net about Duck, it hit me because it's like, dang, he's starting to heat up. You know, you do the Legends Never Die. You do the Legends joint. And then when I saw, it's just crazy when I saw this video he put out. I'm not gonna mention the name, but I saw the video 2 weeks prior to his death, and I just felt a bad energy. So this 2 weeks later, when they, you know, when the word went out that Duck passed, I was like, dang, man, why? You know, at the end of the day, this man speaks on behalf for a lot of people from his area that need that voice. And, you know, seeing him get put down, it's like, yo, he got kids, he got family, he got his mans, you know, he got people behind him that he's trying to stray in the right path. So seeing him leave and then later on seeing Vaughn leave, it's like, yo, what is going on here? I'm not going to get too much in depth into that because that's some deep ish right there. But I know both of those definitely hit me a way where it's like, I really pray that brings Chicago closer together and we leave these beefs alone and we come together as people more. But as far as outside of Chicago, I would have to go with Chadwick Boseman. You know, I didn't even know he had a sickness. Like, he kept it under wraps for years. And he's done some amazing things in the filming industry for years and kept his sickness under wraps and got the job done. So, you know, seeing that when they mentioned that he passed, I'm like, yo, this man, he knew what was going on. He knew he knew he was ill, but he still stayed motivated to put out some legendary films that we will remember him forever from. So it's like, I feel like that was one big one. Of course, Kobe. It's a couple of them, man, but I'm gonna say Chad because, like I said, he literally sucked everything in. He put his mind to it and got the job done on the industry side of things for us to remember him by.
Diamond, when you woke up and saw the news, which one hit you the hardest out of this list?
I definitely agree with Bekoe. Just because I'm from Chicago, and then just see young men who aspire to be more, who aspire to influence, die at the hands of violence is just really disheartening to me. So, like, when Vaughn passed, I definitely shed a tear because it was about Vaughn, but it was about the bigger picture as well of the Chicago culture and how senseless violence is just costing lives and costing people's families to suffer. And also definitely Chadwick Boseman. Because when I look at my nephew and I ask him, who his favorite superhero is, he'll say Black Panther, and he'll do the little things. So it's just like it warms my heart to know like what he was dealing with, but at the same time staying strong and influencing the culture. And we needed him. He's a strong man. No one knew what he was dealing with, but besides his family, his close ones. And I just think that right there is just so inspiring.
Vashon, please.
Yeah, you all definitely took a while on that one. I was going to mention Chadwick as well, but I also have to mention, Tiny, Debo, who's right here on my crew neck today, wearing him with my Friday top. But I definitely want to go back to what Bekoe was saying because, we look at these guys and their music that they're making, and you can judge them either way. Some of what they're saying is just completely made up entertainment because that's what sells. But it's like, Vine has children. This is somebody's parent. And it's like, these are young men, and we already have a problem with just gun violence here in Chicago. So you look at these people and it's like, how can you really celebrate someone's death? There's so much despair and there's so much sadness because any death, not only does it affect that person's immediate family, but there's a ripple effect. Think back to Kobe Bryant. Everyone all across the world was, reeling from that and mourning from that because the impact that it had on people. So all of them, definitely were deaths that meant a lot to people. We look at our cultural leaders and we look at people who really came through and, meant something and put their stamp on this earth. So we have to carry their legacies on, look at what they were fighting for, and not let their deaths be in vain.
I'm going to say this and then we'll move on. Of course, King Von and FBG Doug for Chicago. The loss is monumental, especially losing Juice WRLD last year. It seems like we can't catch a break personally. So I just wish, somebody said being a rapper is one of the most dangerous jobs ever. I just pray that all of our entertainers stay safe. And for me personally on this list, when you hear about Kobe Bryant leaving church and going on a helicopter with 5, 6, 7 other humans, including his daughter, I cried. I cried because it's an unnatural death. That devastated me. You never see things like that coming. And to me, it's just like the most devastating. Like I said, we're not going to play which was the most devastating game, but truly for me, and during Kobe's career, I hated him. He was like I hated Kobe Bryant. I was an Allen Iverson dude. So, it was East Coast, West Coast. I always picked East Coast. But to hear that his daughter was in that helicopter and that they died on impact, you can't imagine. I'm almost getting emotional right now. But moving on, We Real Chicago. If you guys are just now joining me, it's We Real Chicago. It's your bro, Jay. I got Diamonds, Dosage, Vashon Jordan Jr., my guy, Stephen Bekoe. What a great panel. I'm honored to have these special people here with me to end 2020. What a long year it's been. Going back to the beginning of the year, we got the All-Star game back in Chicago for the first time in 30 years.
Yeah.
For anybody who was outside, it was colder than a money lover that weekend. I mean, it was cold. It was cold that weekend. I was out and about, taking full advantage of everything. We was at Navy Pier doing it all that weekend. Bekoe and Diamond, did you guys have any interviews or anything set up that weekend? Did you guys attend any events? Please, Diamond, let me know what was going on.
I just want to say Chicago really showed out, and it was disrespectful. Everyone would agree, but that's not even that. I have been to a couple parties, but I really was working that weekend, so I couldn't do much. But I went to one of the biggest ones at the Super Bowl. Not Super Bowl, the Soldier Field. I don't know if the stadium party, I had attended that one. I went to a couple other ones, but it was a nice weekend overall, even though it was freezing cold.
It was colder than the money level. Bekoe, what was you doing that weekend?
Colder than the money level. You know what? I'm going to use
That's
that
the
wrong.
version on VH1 when they play
The BET version.
Yeah, when they play they say money level.
You Mickey Ficky. But for me, I was working. I was at Vocalo when the Navy Pier was still open. I was there. So they brought a lot of all-star events was happening at the pier that day, and I was wondering why I kept seeing so many people. But I honestly, I was in the studio. I didn't even get a chance to sneak out and go say hi to nobody. And all the players, was pretty much there, the host, and I missed it all, dog. I missed it, man. I was working.
Oh man, you ain't missed nothing. It was cold out there, brother. It's off on the lake, man, for real. So I mean, and news, as y'all know, don't stop. Let's talk about some big music and entertainment news. News stories from 2020. G Herbo this year launched mental health campaign, his mental health campaign, Swerving Through Stress. And Herb's been super active in the community this year. I attended the Year of the Youth event over at Overton Elementary School. And, just with so many lives lost to gun violence each year, Chicago rapper G Herbo is working on his initiative to heal untreated trauma that many folks are experiencing. Herb, alongside free music streaming platform AudioMac, is launching Swerving Through Stress. It's a tool to help Black youth navigate mental wellness. The initiative includes the Dream Team Therapy Fund, which will cover the cost of therapy sessions for 3 months for Black youth between ages 18 and 25. Now, for more information about Swerving Through Stress, you guys can get in tune with Herb and them by visiting swervingthroughstress.com. I mean, you guys got to love what Herb is doing in the community as far as his whole, when he wrote out the album, he came with a true initiative. It wasn't just an album title. He really lives this initiative. Bekoe, what do you have to say about Herb and everything he's doing?
Phenomenal. One word, phenomenal. And you could put some acronyms in that too to make it more. But he's done an amazing job throughout his career. Seeing him, just seeing the growth, and then seeing his mind frame and just him understanding what he can do to really impact the culture. I love PTSD. I enjoy Humble Beast too, but I enjoy PTSD because it means a lot. And mental health is by far one of the biggest things. And I know Diamond's going to break that down because she's an advocate when it comes to that. So I can't wait to hear what she has to say. But yeah, PTSD was a phenomenal project as a whole. I'm not even speaking on the music side of things. I'm talking about as a whole, marketing and just really flipping the script and showing people that mental health is real and it's needed. Therapy is needed. And I'm happy that, he's done a lot of things within the community and within the city to, shed light on that and really put the youth in front of better things and bring them better opportunities as well.
Diamond, any thoughts on Herb? He's been really active in the community this year.
I think that Herb is doing an amazing job not being a product of his environment. That's number one. Taking his traumas and healing himself first, and then offering that to the younger youth. Mental health is something that's very important. And I think Herb being a representation for young men who do see themselves as him is so important. Our Black boys need to understand that mental health is something that we have to cater to. We have to nurture our mental health, and we have to understand our traumas and our triggers because they will come up in our life. And I'm so grateful that Herb is doing that for Chicago and for the world, because our trauma is something that we must address.
All right, and Diamond, I want you to stay close because we gonna talk about some mess. I ain't saying you're messy, but
I'm here.
Yeah, I ain't calling you messy, but you want me to talk about this next thing. So okay, and I want to get everybody's take on this next subject. Herb was recently charged, and we've been covering this story. He was recently charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 2 counts of aiding and abetting aggravated identity theft. Herb has pled not guilty, of course, to charges claiming that he, along with 5 other friends, business associates, use stolen identities to make fraudulent charges for what the feds are calling extravagant services. Herb's facing 6 years in prison and found guilty. Now, word on the street is Ari might testify as a witness. Diamond, and I hate to put it like that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. My producer told me not to ask this, but Diamond, is Ari bogus if she testifies? Is she?
I think that if she's subpoenaed or summoned to testify, she has to do what she has to do. I just hope that she doesn't do anything out of spite or out of bitterness, and I hope that she, makes the best choices for her child, and her family regarding the whole entire situation.
And can I add in, we've learned that Taina, Herb's recent girlfriend, is now pregnant. She's like 4 or 5 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm. This is a crazy situation. I just really feel like, because Herb was in jail when Ari had her baby shower. So it's really like history repeating itself. And it's a lot for them right now. Bringing life into the world, but under these circumstances is a lot. And I really just wish them the best.
And he don't need to have no more babies, because if this is happening when he have a baby.
Mind
your business, Bekoe, mind your business.
You got the scheme going, and now they telling, and
right. It's just a lot. Like, he's really living in the lot right now.
Allegedly, and Herb's had a big year. He was recently named to Forbes 30 Under 30. PTSD, the single with Chance and Juice WRLD went platinum. I actually got a chance to talk to Herb about that. That's footage we haven't even touched or put out into the public, but I know that's a big deal for Herb for that song to go platinum. So, I mean, Herb's still had a big year, and we're going to be following that story as things keep developing. In other news, No Name and J. Cole from this year, 2020. We all remember that. No Name and J. Cole. Of course, No Name, the Chicago artist. She came out with that song 33 in response to J. Cole's Snow on the Bluff, which was basically responding to her calling out rappers, top tier rappers, basically saying that y'all not doing nothing, even though y'all whole discography be about Black struggle and Black plight. I mean, Bekoe, was she right?
Say that line one more time.
She was basically saying, like, J. Cole and Kendrick, y'all not doing nothing, even though y'all whole discographies be about Black struggle and Black plight. And she accused them of basically going MIA after the killing of George Floyd. I mean, was she right, Bekoe?
I just wanted you to repeat it for the people to hear, because at the end of the day, I feel like this situation was blown out of proportion. If you look, J. Cole be at protests, he does. I feel like I can't speak on just his situation alone, but I feel like Cole be there. Now, I don't know what Kendrick be at, but I'm pretty sure Kendrick does what he need to do too. But with this pertaining to J. Cole and No Name, I don't know. I really feel like the situation at hand was just blown out of proportion. I feel like J. Cole look at No Name as like a sister. And when he dropped the song, I didn't see no harm in the song. If anything, he was mentioning her, and it literally brought her an additional fan base, and her book club blew up. Let's be real. Her book club blew up. So I don't know. I feel like the situation was kind of blown out of proportion, and it was dope for him to bring No Name out of retirement though. And she dropped the song, that was pretty dope. But I feel like, it didn't have to go as far as it went on social media, how people just jumped in and started getting opinionated with things. I just feel like it didn't have to go that far. But other than that, I'm happy that I feel like they on good terms. But yeah, I mean, it was good for music because, like I said, it brought her out of retirement. And I could use some more No Name music. I could use some more J. Cole music. Hell, I could use a feature from the two. So that's my take on things.
Facts. No, like any press, like, and I hate to sound easy, but like any press is good press. Like, she bubbed up off that low key. Like,
yeah,
it rebubbed her and it gave her a reason to get back in the stew. Diamond, was she right? I mean, whose side are you taking?
I gotta hear this, Diamond.
I love J. Cole. I respect J. Cole, but I'm standing by No Name in this. Only because I feel like, why did J. Cole feel like she was talking to him, And then he went and made that song. I just honestly think that No Name was just trying to say we have to do more as a community. We have to educate ourselves. We have to learn what capitalism is, what imperialism is, and what the Black struggle is. And I don't feel like J. Cole should have used those bars, those little 16 bars, to come at No Name. And he should have used them to say more about the struggle. I think No Name is just an advocate for Black people, an advocate for progression. And I do think that J. Cole took it wrong. I understand rap and like the thrill of it, behind the words of it, but I do think that it was blown out of proportion, like Bekoe said, and also J. Cole just took it personally.
The standpoint.
And I mean, and
we shouldn't coddle people. They need to educate themselves, and that's all she was saying.
Facts. And I mean, and I wanted to ask you guys, I mean, I'll ask Vashon, should we expect our rappers to be social leaders? I mean, should we expect more from our entertainers, or should we just expect them to be rappers?
Well, if you're taking from the community, you should consider giving back. And you should consider, if you have a platform, using that for the betterment of people, because we're in a state of society right now where things are not okay. And everybody needs to come together in that all hands on deck effort to do this, because, we look at our rappers and it's like, you guys aren't getting this fame off of not having any sense. Like, some things, how to work this. You have people working with you that know strategy and that has a lot of behind the scenes details that goes into making you a success. So spreading that around and spreading that wealth around is the best thing. So it's like, yeah, we have to say, we're giving you money, we're giving you time, we're paying your bills. So give us a little bit to help us get something as well.
All right, moving on. Queen Key, the queen. She welcomed triplets in March. Crown Cash, the two little boys, and Creative, little baby girl. So Queen's a MILF now, officially. I mean, that's what I told her. I was like, Queen, you're officially a MILF now. Like, and we've all talked to Queen. Bekoe, Diamond, I saw you guys interview her. Bekoe, you interviewed her a couple of years ago. Diamond, you interviewed her this month, I believe. And Diamond, when I saw your interview, you and Queen, y'all really kind of dove into women empowerment. Like, what do you think about the music she's recently dropped? And I really kind of want to ask you is do you think that that women and moms in hip hop, do you think she can continue to be successful and still be a mom? Do you think there comes a time eventually? Because, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say I kind of equate this to like having an OnlyFans. Like, we got like with her subject matter, you can only talk about EMP for so long before your kids is like, Mom, could you stop talking about that? Like, does that happen? Do you see Queen Key changing her style? How do you feel about women empowerment in hip hop? Diamond, please.
I feel like we shouldn't box women into one thing. Once you become a mom, that doesn't make you, that doesn't make your identity just mom. I'm a mom. She's still a woman. She still has sex appeal. She still probably has sex. And rapping about your vagina, I think that it gets a lot of bad media surrounding it, and a lot of bad commentary surrounding it. And a lot of female rappers who do that, they just get labeled as that and not as talented. But I do think she has the potential to grow like most of us do, and she can pull from different places to be inspired by new content. And it's always going to be EMP because that's what it is. And we ladies, and we're going to represent that, okay?
EMP, hell no. And I mean, Bekoe, you got a chance to talk to Queen. I mean, she's a character, bro. Talk about just the growth you've seen in her. Of course, she's a mother now, and what we're looking forward to from the Queen, man.
Man, you ain't lying. She's grown. She's really grown. Like, I mean, when I say grown, not just musically, like mentally. She marketing. One thing about Queen Key, I don't think a lot of people understand is that a lot of things that's happened, she does on her own. You know what I'm saying? And that take charisma, that take courage, especially that now that you have triplets. It's not easy raising kids and being in the industry. I have two. She has three. She beat me one time, now she has three, and, and she's still doing her thing. And she brought the Queen plus 3. I feel like that was a brilliant idea for her because, how you were saying about the music, this is something she can transition into and turn. And she's already did it where she's turning her life into episodes and, you know, showing people the lifestyle and showing people what she goes through and showing the industry motherhood within the industry. So yeah, Queen Key has grown. And of course, I feel like a lot of people, she's misunderstood at the end of the day. And I feel like if a lot of people watch her episodes and really dig deep, they see she's one of the coolest people, man. If Queen Key bumped into you, she know you, she's gonna talk to you. She's not the type of person that's gonna overlook you and shoo you away. No, if she rock with you, she gonna talk to you. She shows love. So yeah, her growth has been phenomenal, and I think she's gonna have an outstanding 2021.
Vashon, are the young bucks, young fellas, are y'all rocking with Queen Key, man? Because you know we're all well removed from college, man. I'm 28. Bekoe, I know you at least damn near 30. I'm not gonna guess your age, baby. You know, women and sisters.
Yeah,
we're not gonna talk about that.
We just gonna say happy birthday and later. but Vashon, how do you feel about the Queen, man? Do you follow her? Are the young kids listening to her, man? How do you feel?
Yeah, she definitely still has that reach. And I did watch one of her episodes of Queen Plus 3, and I sat there and watched it full through. I just, it popped up. I was just checking out and looking through it, but I was sitting there watching it because she's really entertaining and she's really interested. So definitely hearing what she has to say. And, she has that range where she can go and transition into talking about different things because, we're going to grow up and be parents one day. So being able to look at someone that we, respect and admire, talking about this in a very real way and with 3 at one time, like I can't even imagine that. So her taking us on this experience is preparing us for something that we're going to deal with eventually. So that content is definitely something that we're going to embrace.
So yeah, and I mean, y'all, she just dropped that single, the remix, the key mix to Back in Blood. That Pooh Shiesty and Dirk. Shout out to that, Bekoe. I know you just saw them shooting that video to Back in Blood, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that joint, and I'm excited to see Dirk hop back into the saddle. I mean, we know Von's death definitely affected him. He deactivated his IG, so I'm excited to see Lil Durk hop back in the game. He's been lighting it up this year, man. So
yeah, he has. He's nominated for a Grammy alongside Drake. I'm sorry.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
Alongside Drake with Laugh Now Cry Later, and I think he gonna get that.
Oh yeah,
I hope so.
Me too. That'll be a big win.
He's had a colossal year. What's that up for Song of the Year or something like that?
Yeah, yep. Laugh Now Cry Later, yep.
So yeah, Dirk's had a colossal year. And so that I'm waiting on that Back in Blood video, and Key's dropping her key mix. Well, she dropped the key mix to Back in Blood. That song's hot. Go check out Queen Key. Stay in tune with her as always. We love Queen over here. I've talked to her. We've worked with her and filmed her, and we love Queen over here.
Yeah, that documentary idea was dope.
Yeah, we did I forget the name of our project. What did we used to call it? The Block Beat. We did a block beat with Queen Key. We followed her around Blue Island, so it was dope. Chance's former manager, Pat Corcoran, he's suing Chance for $3 million, claiming that he is owed money for expenses from the time he worked with Chance. Word on the street is that two had a major falling out last year during the rollout of Chance's debut album, The Big Day. In other news, Chance is hosting a virtual Christmas concert tomorrow. On his Instagram and YouTube account. Bekoe, as the year comes to an end, what kind of year has Chance had, man?
A successful. At the end of the day, though, people look at the big day as whatever they want to look at it as. Chance been still on the scene doing what he needs to do. He got a single that's on Billboard with Justin Bieber right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So he's still in the mix doing what he needs to do. He's also doing features with Baja Banks with Shake That Ass. I mean, I honestly enjoy what Chance does, and even though he can't hit the stage because venues are closed. I was watching his interview with Hot Rod, and he was speaking on how he's taking the virtual side of things and really just trying to turn things into an actual movie. You know what I'm saying? Because with the virtual, he was saying like most of these performers, they put their camera far back where it's like they put you in the audience, but he wanted to give you an actual outlook of him up close and personal and really give you a movie on the virtual side of things. So I feel like, Chance is elevating, doing what he needs to do. Now, the situation with his manager, thinking about that, I feel like that was already happening in the background because that doesn't just happen out of nowhere. I feel like that was already happening. And some people say it's because of Big Day and this and that. And I'm gonna say no, the hell it wasn't. Not an album is not gonna take your manager away that helped you get to where you at. So it was, I feel like it was bigger than that project. It was something, of course, that us in the public, we're not gonna know. Them two know what it is exactly. So I feel like it's bigger than that. But I know they're gonna solve their issues. At the end of the day, they've done phenomenal things together. They've literally did something that many people have not done. So you know, I'm hoping that they, you know, work out what they got to work out and respectfully still be cool and get things done on other ends.
It's your boy Rome J. We Real Chicago. Make sure you guys check out Chance's Chi-Town Christmas tomorrow, live virtual concert tomorrow, 8 p.m. Make sure you guys check that out. So Bekoe, you've interviewed so many artists and other creatives. Who would you say has been your most interesting interview this year?
This year? Oh, wow. Oh, man. Damn, Rome, you just had to throw me out there.
I like that.
Dog, I know.
You gonna make me pull up all the goddamn interviews we done did, man. Ooh, Lord.
Check your catalog.
So I know we recently just sat with Chris Millie. Osley. Oh my God, boxer. Just signed a deal with Golden Boy Production, one of the biggest boxing promotion companies in the world.
Man got hands.
Man got the hand of a iron skillet, bro. he gonna knock you out. That's his goal, and he's been doing it. He's 12-0 with 9 knockouts. So you ain't going to unanimous decision. You get knocked out. So that was a interview that I really enjoyed. We had Sexpert come through, Tayomi Glamazon Tayomi. She was super dope because she taught me a lot about sexual energy.
Oh, I need her contact.
Oh, hey, we gonna talk about this all air. She taught us a lot about like sexual energy and like how you can use that instead of just going to have sex, you know. And she just taught us a lot about sex, and I enjoyed that. Who else? Damn, Ron, why'd you do this to me, dog? Man, who else we sat with Flex this year, because this year was like a rebuild for us. You know, iLLANOiZE radio station was built this year. So it's like things are trying to remember some of the, because a lot of interviews we sat, guests we brought on, like I said, still was fresh to us. Ron Louis, you know, Ron Louis was a memorable interview. Got his shoes right here in the back. So shout out to Ron Louis doing some amazing things on the fashion side of on the fashion scene. Let me look around and see what else we got up there. See if I can get a okay taco. Man, bro, you gonna make me name everybody, okay? We had dope conversations. I want to bring Diamond back. Got to get Vashon up here too. You've been doing amazing things on the photography. Diamond Dosage podcast been doing amazing. It's good to see your growth from when we sat with you last year. Was that
2019?
2019. So it's yeah, man. Those are some that I can name as of right now. But if you all would like to check it out, you can head over, since you're on YouTube, just search iLLANOiZE radio. After this search, and then y'all can check out some of the guests.
I say, man, hey man, you lucky I like you, man. Put that after this. Hey, Diamond, you've been interviewing people this year. I've been checking out your interviews. Who's your most memorable interview from this year, from 2020?
From this year, it had to be DJ Nathis for sure, from Power 92.3. The episode was basically like, it was about temptation and just staying true to yourself while in the entertainment industry and while being married. So a lot of topics came up about just, fighting that battle of forgiveness, loving your partner, loving yourself, loving what you do, and not letting anybody else really just get to you or tell you who you are. And I respect DJ Nathis for that conversation. He taught me so much. A lot of the gentlemen wasn't messing with him about the forgiveness part, about forgiving your wife. If she does cheat or do something, she ain't supposed to be doing, but I understand it. And I think forgiveness is a deeper level that we all need to tap into. So that was definitely one of my favorite conversations I had this year.
All right. And of course, I wouldn't be myself if we didn't talk about some music for a little bit, y'all. And of course, we're moving the show along. Just some Chicago artists, you all, and I want to prop my my picture girls and everybody backstage. We're gonna go ahead and jump to new artists that you guys should stay out for. New artists you guys should know. And Bekoe, I heard you talking to my producer. You mentioned Asada Jones. She's on our list. And you know, it's just good to hear R&B getting brought back. Her along with Jazz. Bekoe, I saw you interview Jazz on your show as well. Just a beautiful young lady, a beautiful voice. Like, is R&B making a comeback in the city? Did it ever go anywhere for one?
Man, look here. R&B ain't went no goddamn well, okay? R&B is still here. Look, I was just in the shower. Look, don't think like, look, I was listening to Trey songs and I was singing my heart out, okay? So R&B is still here, and here in Chicago, yes, R&B lives. As you see, Asada Jones, Jazz, Lajay doing her thing. We got Barton. Who else? Josh K. We got several R&B artists. Romar Salad. It's a lot of R&B here. It's just people have to open their mind up and put the rap to the side for a little bit and just, you know, look for some talent, because it's definitely here. So R&B ain't go nowhere, man.
Of course. And then we got on the men's side, the Mind. Can't forget, once we go, then we'll go back to rap. We got Brittany Carter. And I just got done. I just had a wonderful conversation with Brittany because I saw you interviewed her as well.
Can I speak on her a little bit?
Of course.
Man, look, I'm happy and I'm so proud of Brittany. Seeing her I picked up on Brittany 2016 when she was like kind of pretty much fresh on the scene, and just to see her growth and development and see her finally deliver her, you know, debut project, and the love is getting and the responses she's been receiving for her freestyles. I'm proud of Brittany, man. She's heading in the right direction, and I think 2021 is going to be a big year for her too.
Yeah, and so many other artists. We're moving the show along, but I gotta mention Fireman. I gotta mention Flex. I gotta mention my boy Blessing. Guys, I've been listening to Polo G, Cowboy. Shout out to Polo G. And you know, Bekoe, I heard you tell my producer again, and look, man, we all kind of got it wrong. We all thought Cowboy was going to have the biggest year of 2020, and he did have a big year, but Polo had a huge year. And that's just what it was. I actually interviewed El Hitta like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I thought he was going to be up next. And, you know, not quite so much. So shout out to those two doing big things. Polo G's really on his high horse right now. Shout out those two young men, though.
You got to mention the GOAT album. You know, that hit Billboard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely. So, you know, those guys doing big things. It's nice to see. And Polo G mentioned on the 30 under 30 list as well, only 21 years old. So big things on the Forbes list already. Moving along, Netflix streaming rollout of popular 90s Black TV shows and movies have warmed my heart during the pandemic. Moesha, Girlfriends, One on One, The Parkers, Sister, Happy. All right. And on the movie side, I mean, The Brothers, Two Can Play That Game, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Set It Off. During COVID, have y'all been in front of the TV more than usual? I mean, what about the beginning of COVID?
Diamond.
I'm not even a TV person, guys, but I definitely have to watch some of my old favorites. The Parkers, hilarious. I love the Black representation that we've been getting lately. The Game was a really good show, better than I thought. I actually rewatched it. I was like, oh, this is way better than I thought. Moesha, Black woman representation, Black teenager. Like, I looked up to her growing up, like as a child. So it's just really inspiring seeing our Black TV shows and movies come back on a network where we can access them. And Set It Off is one of my favorite movies. So I was really happy to see that.
You look like you set it off.
You know, first you're going to rob the bank. That's my movie.
It looks like if things came down to it, you look like...
You know, I might.
But Vashon, you're a college student. I don't know if college students are watching TV. I know I was watching TV. Y'all got so many options. I mean, and you're a busy guy. Are you on Netflix? Are you enjoying Black content on Netflix and Hulu and all these types of things?
Well, I just finished my school semester yesterday, so I got one good month to sit there and watch everything.
You got a good month to catch up.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I've watched the game before, like, years ago when all of that stuff was out, when it was really hitting and popular. I watched that from beginning to end, but I'm definitely going to go catch up on that and just, get some more of that in my system. But I've been looking at some of the new shows. I've watched Insecure for the first time, Euphoria, and my favorite of this year, Lovecraft Country, was off the chain.
Oh, yes.
So I definitely checked out some of those shows, but I'm definitely going to, make sure I go back and learn something with these shows and, get my roots up in there with those, programs that Netflix has added.
Yeah, if y'all are watching Insecure with your significant other, don't, because I tried watching Insecure with a lady friend, and it got so awkward after a certain point. And I finished it because I like black content, but boy,
The whole mood did.
Man, bro, it was so what are you hiding? Are you insecure?
Yeah, that was definitely me watching the game with the dude I was talking to at that time. Like, oh wait, so this is how men do this.
Dirty looks and Lovecraft Country, I'm not gonna lie, was off the chain. I highly enjoyed it, and we had people come onto the show, Ashley Ray, to talk about the show. I really enjoyed Lovecraft Country this year, and all the black content throughout all the social platforms really brought joy and warmth to my heart. So moving on, we all know black people run social media. And I can always find a good laugh online. Guys, I want to run through real quick a couple of viral social media moments from this year. This week, we got this gem, the Louisiana car dealer. Where the money resides, where the money resides. Please play it. Go ahead, play it. All right, so because I'm getting bad audio, but that just tickles me just because before I got into media, I was a car salesman. And so just to see this dude doing it the way he do his money, you can definitely appreciate it. That's funny as hell to me. Next, we got Virgil Abloh of the Rockford. I want to know if y'all remember this. The $50 donation from good old Virgil to the bail fund for protesters this summer. I mean, they let him have it for that one. Bekoe, do you remember when this happened, man?
Of course. What I gotta know, was he better off not donating?
Probably. Yeah, we in that culture where, man, if you don't come with it, you might as well not come at all.
Because they went in on this man. I mean, I look at it like, look, something's better than nothing, though. Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this too. Look at Meek Mill recently too. Out in Atlanta, I'm gonna make this brief. Out in Atlanta, he gave those kids $20.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been over in that area in Atlanta where they come up to your window if you got a nice car and they own it. So right. I wouldn't have gave him a damn thing. But Meek gave him $20. It became an issue. Virgil, at least he donated something. Of course, at the end of the day, people look at celebrities like they have money. You can do better than that. But I feel like, hey, something is better than nothing. But he probably was better off just not donating. But he did do what he did do his due diligence, and he gave him something.
Yeah, folks took that and really made that as a laughing point, because he did come out and talk about it. He said there was like a trend where everybody was donating $50, so he would just participate in that $50 trend, and that's why he chose that specific amount.
All right, and Black people is gone viral. We'll get our powers on the 21st. I want to ask Diamond, give us the dose. If you could pick your superpower, what would it be, Diamond, please?
I want to read minds. I've been ready for this question my whole life, and I want to read some minds.
You are Professor X on it.
I knew you was gonna say that.
December 21st is gonna be I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's gonna be a huge transformation just with the stars and the moons and the astrology of it. It's going to be a huge transformation.
For me, I'm thinking of two things about invisibility, or something where like I can grant people wishes, something like that. If I could have one of those powers, I think I'd be straight. I can go invisible when I don't feel like being bothered. Just snap my finger, I'm gone. But I'm still in the room. I can still observe. Yeah, I think if I can have the powers where I can just like a genie or something, I think that'd be pretty dope. Where I can grant people wishes only if it made sense. You only get 3.
You stingy.
Hey,
Are you stingy with superpowers? Bye.
Some better than none. Okay.
Vashon, what about you, man? If you could do it, what would be your superpower?
I need the power of mind control. I want to be able to go into somebody's brain and make them do something without even moving a muscle. I need that mind control. And I want to. And the first place I'm using as a protest, I'm coming for CPD.
I hear that.
Period.
I hear that. I like that.
I would just take and this is just me being old fashioned. I would just take the ability to being able to fly, because I mean, you getting rid of transportation, and I'm just going to assume that comes with super strength as well. Because if I need to bust out of a building, I need to be able to just bust out the building. So I'm taking super strength and flight, and then I'm going all over the world. I'm taking both because that's hand in hand. I'm taking both. I can't be able to fly and I ain't strong.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm thinking being able to fly. I mean, think about it. I can fly all over the world. I'm going to Vegas, and I ain't buying no tickets. All right, next, we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Why you sound like them though?
Is our audio working? Oh man, we can't get the audio. Anyways,
you the audio.
Listen, my man said 41, 42. I said, oh man, and it got so bad. Even Wiz Khalifa made a whole song about it with my man's on the chorus. So that's another dope moment from this year. Nate Robinson. Who all saw the Nate Robinson fight?
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. I watched it bootleg on YouTube, and
didn't look good, did it?
Didn't look good for the culture, for the people.
Man, Nate Robinson. Although I did enjoy Mike Tyson, and
that was something.
Yeah, although I enjoyed Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. Man, to see Nate laid out on the canvas like that, photo of photo of Nate.
Has he woken up yet? I ain't heard nothing from Nate since this.
It's still Nate finna miss Christmas.
Wow, that hurt, yo. That hurts to be on the ground, sleep like that while this man looking over you, and the world seeing this. Like,
yeah,
I wish Nate the best of success, though. I mean, at the end of the day, he's still cool in my books. I just know if it go down, I can't trust him.
That's it. And then I have Snoop Dogg commentating that downfall. Just
oh Lord, he started singing "Precious Lord." It was horrible. It's one of those things where like you want to laugh, but you want to make sure they're okay first.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, somebody fell. I'm gonna wait till they get up before I laugh, bro.
Yeah.
But anyways, and of course TikTok. You know, kids do these dance challenges. The Quarantine Renegade and the Savage. We got memorable moments from this year. Lori Lightfoot's Halloween costume as well. Oh God, what was she like? The Corona lady or
Corona
something?
Destroyer. Yeah.
It looked like Blinkman, or what was his name? I remember him.
Yeah. I know what you talk about. You talk about the person Robin Townsend played.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in Rocket. Was it Rocket Man? It was Rocket in Rocket Man. Yeah. Ooh,
my God.
I don't know what she was thinking.
Oh my God.
Guess she was thinking be saying to take, disinfect you, stay clean. Stay clean. That's ridiculous.
Man, it's like one of those things where she's trying to figure out how to get how to get it out there, but it's like, dang, man.
It's just cringy.
Yeah, facts. All right. And I just want to ask you guys before you guys get out of here. First of all, thank you guys for joining me today, our recap show of 2020. Anything new up and coming for you guys in the new year that you want to share with us? Ladies first, like we always do at Diamonds Dosage. Please, what's coming up?
Put me on the spot. Put me on the spot. For me, I'm just gonna finish up my third season of the visual podcast hosted by What's the Word TV, and also I really want to focus on like trying to get a women's studio going for workshops, just for like personal development courses, and continue to just spread love. Period.
Wonderful, and we hope to link up with you again, Diamond. My man, Stephen Bekoe, what's going on with you? What's in the pipeline, man? What you got working on in the works for 2021?
Man, that's, I just let it come to me as of right now. This year just been building on what's been going on with, the success of properly rolling out our own station. We went from, we went from radio show to actual radio station. Now we're a show on our station. So that was pretty, I feel like that was pretty dope. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in 2021 with the station. We got some dope shows coming on board. So I'm excited for that. Can't say it just yet. Also with Vocalo, great things is happening. I just became, I transitioned from midday host to morning host. So shout out, all the great things that's going on over at Vocalo. Small team doing big things. Same here at Illinois. Small team doing big things. So I'm just excited to see what comes. But the goal is to honestly continue to just do what we need to do by pushing, shifting things around, and just making things happen.
Small team doing big things. I like that. That's kind of how I feel about the tribe. Mr. Jordan Jr., the floor is yours. Last but not least, this man's a senior. He's finishing up. What do you have in plans for your future? Your 2021, of course, is going to be looking up, man. What do you have going on?
Yeah, so I would definitely be graduating with my bachelor's degree in May and finishing that up. So thank you. So, look out for me in June, starting that full-time work. Going to be interesting to see who snatches me up when school is over with. I'm looking in a lot of directions there. I definitely am going to continue with the photography aspect. And now that, the protests have kind of subsided, I'm probably going to just look more into partnering with different outlets and different organizations to continue that work, because I know the power of the photograph, and I can go somewhere, take a photo of someone doing some type of event, and they can use that to get additional funding and get their name out and carry these events around. So I'll be doing more of just giving my services out and just hoping that, 2021 treats us a little bit better. But, this is a great year, very reflective. Shout out to the tribe for all of the work that you all have been doing to continue to uplift Black stories. There have been so many times where I've looked at different events and, Matt Harvey's out there talking about it from a real perspective. And it's like, we're just looking like, this is very necessary work, and this is the work that we need. And there have been moments where there are stories where the tribe got it and they reported on it and no one else reported on it. So it's like, I'm glad to see that you all are doing what you're doing, giving people that space because it's needed, created and led Black women, that right there is already something worthwhile, worth talking about. So shout out to everyone who came out this year and did some work and, used their outlets and their platforms to uplift others. Couldn't be more grateful and appreciative to see that here in Chicago.
And before we exit, Rome, I've been holding this, and I want to shout out everybody on the panel as well. Diamonds Dosage, I've been a fan of your podcast since the beginning, so I'm happy to see what things is headed. The visuals, your content, your website. Keep doing what you're doing, Miss Lady, because you're killing it.
I appreciate that, Bekoe.
And happy belated birthday to you as
Thank
well.
You.
Vashon, man, your photos is everywhere. And I also want to say, if y'all use Vashon's photos, y'all better credit that man.
Man.
He works hard. He works hard to get these photos out there. So definitely been seeing your work. Yeah. Also, if your book is available, I'm going to hit you up offline. And again, to the tribe. Been rocking with the tribe before the tribe. So I love everything you all are doing. Keep doing what y'all need to do, because y'all definitely shifting the narrative and y'all changing the game on the news side of things. And I see nothing but success coming to 2021 for the tribe. Rome, Tiffany, Miss Morgan, I thank y'all.
Oh man, it's nothing but love. And I remember the first time we met, it was 2018 New Year's going into 2019 at the Ill Year concert. And that was the first time I had saw Flex perform and OG Steve-O perform. And I met you, Bekoe, and you know, everything that you guys do over at iLLANOiZE, it's inspiring and it inspires me. And so I want to thank my panel for joining me tonight, Diamond, Bekoe, and Vashon. You guys take care. Have a happy holidays. Happy New Year. Stay safe. Stay warm, my brothers and my sisters, please.
Yes, sir.
Blessings to y'all. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. That's our final show of the year. Now, if you guys have any questions about the show or you want to reach out to us, hit us up at connect@thetribe.com. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube page so you don't miss the first time we hit these streets for 2021. We're coming back hard. You can find me on Twitter at @RomeJ_ and on Instagram at @RomeJ_TV. If all hearts are cleared, happy 2020. We'll catch y'all in 2021. Be safe, y'all. Happy holidays. It's your boy. Peace.